Hi everyone, it's Dave and Olive. Olive? Olive. What did I tell you? That's for the trick-or-treaters. We're gonna put the candy in there for the trick-or-treaters. There's no more Maltipoo snack treats in there. Okay? I told you we don't get you don't get Halloween treats the entire month of October. Come on, we gotta go do the video. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us here at Book Blather today. Today is episode 8 of our short Halloween book series. Olive and I did that last year and did it again this October, where throughout the month we read Halloween books, not just scary books, but specifically Halloween-themed books, and tell you about them as we do, in case you want to jump on and read these short books during the month of October to help get you in the mood. Today is episode 8, and the one we're talking about today is Horrorween by Sarrantonio. Trying to get that close so you can see the cover. It's a very cool cover there. So as you can see, we kind of cheated because it's not exactly a short book, but we just really wanted to read it. But it also kind of counts as a short book for two reasons. Number one, the pages were short pages, and it was a very quick read, so it was still a relatively fast book to get through. Also, because this novel is really a collection of 3 shorter stories. And that's because large sections of this book were actually previously published as separate stories that were then subsequently put together in this novel. So there's a short story called Hornets that was published in a collection called Trick or Treat. Then there was The Pumpkin Boy, which was a very cool story that was a limited edition novelette. And then the last one, the longest one, is called Pumpkin Field. And so those were all taken and put together in this novel. They do feel a little bit like 3 separate stories, but they were all connected in this. And some of the characters overlap, and it's all set in the town of Pumpkin Field. And so all 3 of them actually were really good. And even though they were kind of separate stories, you didn't really notice it all that much, and it kind of flowed remarkably well, even though they were 3 different things. He did tie them together well, or pretty well, and it kind of just flowed through, and it was pretty seamless, and you didn't really notice any changeover. And in fact, you were kind of wondering a little bit when people were coming back, because certain individuals did come back. So it was pretty seamless. Now, these tales take place in the town of Pumpkinfield, and there's a lot of scary Halloween-y things that take place there. But the predominant theme is that the town is heavily under the influence of this entity, Samhain. Now, if you're not very familiar, Samhain is a Gaelic festival that I don't purport to be an expert on the holiday, so comments are welcome, but don't come at me. But basically, just for background, the gist is that it comes from its roots are in Celtic paganism, and it marks basically the transition from the harvest season to the winter solstice, and there's the feast and honoring of the dead and things like that, and it's basically an early precursor to modern day Halloween. And so Samhain is personified in this book and is working with some other mysterious entity and exerts a lot of influence over the people in this town. And so some of it, as I said, it's really it's really kind of 3 different stories that are all interconnected. So some of it is really, it's just the way Samhain influences these people in a Halloween-y horror way. And some of it is, Samhain using these people as its agents in order to achieve certain objectives. And so that's basically the gist of the story. There was a lot of different, very cool, specifically Halloween-themed sort of things that were going on throughout it. A lot of just there's different characters like the pumpkin boy and the pumpkin tender and some sort of occult stuff going on, and it was very cool. We really enjoyed this book, actually. We had a lot of fun with this one, and even though it was kind of those 3 stories that were then patched together, that didn't bother us. It's something you told me beforehand I would think it would, but it totally didn't. And I guess maybe because all of them were very enjoyable as well, but I did feel like I was reading one full novel, even though they were really separate tales. And I really, really had a lot of fun with this. There was a really, really, really good stories and a lot of cool moments and freaky stuff going on, and it was really good. Now, there are actually 2 others. So this is set, these stories or novel are set in what's called the Orange Field cycle, right? Which has a number of these different things. So there's actually 2 other novels that are also set in this town. And one is called All Hallows Eve, and the other is called Halloween Town. Now, the leisure edition of All Hallows Eve was actually printed before this. This was published in 2006. All Hallows Eve was in 2004. But I believe the proper order to read them is to read this one, Horrorween, first, because 2 of the 3 stories in this were actually published before the second one, All Hallows Eve, that was published in 2004. So we actually enjoyed this so much that we're planning to read those other 2 books, and I may read them now, even though that by the time I get to those will be outside of Halloween season. I may read them for Thanksgiving season, because we really did enjoy it. It was a fast read and had a good time with it. So I would definitely recommend this. This was our favorite, actually, of this Halloween season so far. So yeah, definitely a strong recommendation. So yeah, we highly recommend this for the Halloween season. Horrorween by Al Sarrantonio. So that's it for today. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you get notified the next time Olive says it's okay to upload another video. Leave us a comment below if you've read this or it sounds interesting to you, or if you don't want to leave anything substantive, leave Olive a puppy emoji or a pumpkin emoji, and she always likes to see those. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.